Welcome to today's edition of the Exploring Mining podcast, featuring stock news from TSX, TSXV, CSE, ASX, NASDAQ, and New York Stock Exchange mining companies, plus interviews with CEOs and leading experts. Hey everyone, this is Sam Mowers here. Welcome to the Exploring Mining podcast. For news today, we've got the latest from Defense Metals Corp, Alamos Gold, Buenaventura, and Endeavor Silver. But just before we get into the show today, a quick reminder that if you enjoy this podcast, please feel free to share it or leave us a review. And as always, I recommend checking out some of the other podcasts on investorideas.com. This includes the Cannabis Podcast, the Clean Tech and Climate Change Podcast, along with many others, all of which will bring you up to speed on the latest stock news and trends in their respective spaces. Right, so Defense Metals Corp, which trades on the TSXV under the ticker DEFN and on the OTCQB under the ticker DFMTF, has reported favorable comminution results on multiple samples extracted from the Wichita deposit, allowing for the design of the crushing and grinding plant that will be an integral part of the planned Wichita development. John Good, the company's metallurgy advisor, said, quote, "Comminution tests on 17 variability samples and a master composite show that the ore is soft, amenable to conventional grinding operations, and has a low abrasion index. The recent results confirm and expand on data obtained from a 30-ton bulk sample taken in 2019. The data show that a conventional semi-autogenous grinding or SAG mill ball mill circuit will work well, and that grinding energy and supply costs will be relatively low." End quote. Stock for Defense Metals trading on the OTCQB is up 1.1% at the time of recording. Next up, Alamos Gold Inc., which trades on the NYSE under the ticker AGI, has entered into a definitive agreement to acquire all of the issued and outstanding shares of Manitou Gold Inc., which trades on the TSXV as MTU. This will increase Alamos' regional land package around Island Gold with the addition of the Goudreau property, adding 40,000 hectares adjacent to and along strike from the Island Gold mine, and significant exploration potential across the relatively underexplored Michipicoten Greenstone Belt. John A. McCluskey, the president and CEO of Alamos, said, quote, "Since our acquisition of Island Gold in 2017, much of our focus has been on near-mine drilling, where we have had tremendous success, discovering more than 4 million ounces of high-grade mineral reserves and resources. Through our acquisition of Manitou, we are more than tripling our land package along strike from Island Gold, where we see excellent potential for additional high-grade discoveries across the prospective Michipicoten Greenstone Belt." End quote. Stock for Alamos Gold is down 1.1% at the time of recording. Moving along, Buenaventura, which trades on the NYSE under the ticker BVN, has posted results for its fourth quarter and full year ended December 31st. Highlights for Q4 include an EBITDA of $76.9 million USD from direct operations and $473.1 million for the full year, a net income of $68.7 million for the quarter, $602.9 million for the full year, and lastly a cash position of $253.9 million as of December 31st. Stock for Buenaventura is up 1.63% at the time of recording. Lastly for today, Endeavor Silver Corp, which trades on the NYSE under the ticker EXK, has announced its financial and operating results for the year ended December 31st. Highlights include the production of 5,963,445 ounces of silver, 37,548 ounces of gold, and a net revenue of $210.2 million. Dan Dixon, the company's CEO, said, quote, As silver prices rebounded in Q4, we were able to take advantage of the higher prices by selling almost half of the year's projected sales towards the end of the year, which resulted in robust cash flow to fund our growth plans. End quote. Stock for Endeavor Silver Corp is down 2.01% at the time of recording. And finally, just a quick disclaimer that news on Defense Metals Corp is a paid-for service on InvestorIdeas.com. Well, that does it for today's Exploring Mining podcast. If you'd like to be a guest or sponsor for this podcast, please contact InvestorIdeas.com. InvestorIdeas.com reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website. All investment involves risk, and this podcast is not meant to be an endorsement to buy or sell securities or products. To hear more InvestorIdeas.com podcasts, please visit InvestorIdeas.com/audio, and a reminder you can also hear our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Audible, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, and most audio platforms available.